Fenland Crusader here. Welcome to part 4 of the 1944 Perkins, standard Fordson Perkins conversion. In this episode, what we're endeavouring to do is to fit the gearboxes in. So we're going to fit the gearbox to the engine, and then we're going to build up the final drive. So your trumpet housings and the worm gear wheel and the new roller bearings and so forth. Okay, so we've got a new day, and I've been around a few bits and pieces up. I've been and fetched the steering column and bits which is just there with the clutch fork on there, look, and the brake stop, which obviously got to clean up before we can put it on. I've been and fetched the belt pulley and just put that in and off it up, just make sure it meshes into gear, because we're changing the gears and bits and pieces about, just wondered. And of course it was easy to see in the top while I was doing that. I didn't want to get it assembled and the bugger didn't fit. But anyway, so yeah, I've been in there and I put the wires around the bolts. Probably not as good as Henry Ford's specification, but they ain't coming undone. So I'll just put you on here, and hopefully I'm just going to pop the clutch on so you can see. We've seen this before. I offered it on the shaft on the flywheel once before. It just fit better one way than it does the other. Obviously it just depends where it was stopped. So I put a chalk mark on it and a chalk mark on the flywheel to correspond. So when we shove it up, it's not going to be, too hard to work. So we pop him on the spline. It's like that. And my chalk mark is pretty much at the top. And then I had a circlip. What did I do with a rubber circlip? Oh, it's here. And I've got a circlip that goes on there, which can be a little tricky. We'll just try pushing it by hand, see how it goes, and then I'll probably put a hammer shaft on this side. Yeah, that's quite tight. So I think I might have to so they don't lend themselves to expanding when you look at the chamfered out, and when you put something in there, it always slips in. So I'll just pop into the toolbox and I'll come back. Right, so I decided that I'd walk it on with two screwdrivers. Yeah, it's just shot on. That's it now. That can't come off. It's a good fit. So that's pretty much all ready, short of making a gasket to assemble to the engine. So I'll set about now and make a gasket, and then I'll bring you back when we shove it up. Okay then. Time to come. It's come to bolt up. Hello, Toby. So we'll give it a push up. Right, lifted, which ain't too much of a problem. Just a case of knocking the wedges in, just lift it up a little bit. Gasket's already glued to the engine. I had it on the gearbox, and then I had second thoughts. When you're hitching it about, it would slide off the gearbox, trying to get the studs lined up. So I thought I'd put it on the engine because the studs are already in. So that's that bit started. I think that's not too far out. There you go. That was easy, wasn't it? Better than the first one when I had to go. The clutch weren't quite lined up 100%, and that's grease. I'll just get 2 bolts in the top, and then yeah. So it's getting bolted together now as a unit, so that's a major step forward now. I mean, there's still loads to do, but you know, you can start thinking about putting the front axle on, and I've just got to put keyways in the trumpet housings, and then they could go on. Then I can, you know, fit the diff and the aft chassis and then put the trumpets on, and then you know, I can put the aft chassis on axle stands, and then she's like freestanding as the tractor should be, and it'd be, you know, a bit higher up and easier to work on. So yeah, I'm getting quite chuffed with it now. We're moving on well.
Yeah. It's going anyway.
So this is the keyway we're going to put in here for the adapter plate for me to bolt my back plate on for the brakes, and then I've got to do a similar thing on the hub for the brake drum to go on. So in order to the back plate will have a pinch bolt in it so as it nips the diameter, but at the same time it needs a key, because when you hit the brakes like, it's going to scotch up and spin it on the shaft. So the key hopefully will stop it. If it don't, we're in trouble. Right, this is the split casing for the roller bearing, just come out the end of the trumpet housing. And I mean, when you look at that lot in there, look, I mean, I know the roller bearing would run round in there if it was clean up, but obviously it would have took a lot off the tolerance. I mean, it's in poor shape, isn't it? The inside edge sort of looks a little bit better, but not a great deal. But yeah, they were dear items to buy, but you know, it's going down the road, so it's going to be batting around a fair pat. So I'm pleased that I bought the new bearings to put in it, to make it run nice and smooth and keep everything central so it don't bugger the seals up and everything else. So yeah, big good job done. Nice new clean bearings and new shells. So we're now going to set to and pop that in now. I'll just clean that one all out, and I'll grease it up and pop it in a minute. Right, so the little thing here, these are the roller sleeves, roller bearing slides in these, and they provide you with a grease hole, which is very kind of them. But the problem with the grease holes, I find, I come across this a lot in bushes and stuff that's in machinery. When that's shoved in and the grease hole's lined up with the grease nipple, if it turns for whatever reason, gets a bit of grit in it or anything, you know, it just fizzles round, and all of a sudden your grease nipple blank ended. you know, grease can't go nowhere. So what I normally do is I'll set to and grind a little groove all the way around. But in order to get on this large area, I just thought, well, if I pop it in the lathe and just touch it with the grinder, and you know, it will just put a nice little groove all the way around. So no matter where it goes, how it turns, it will always have the grease groove, you know, for the grease to run around freely and go to the right place. So that's what we're up to now. Okay then, so that's just put the groove up all the way around to the grease hole up. That's all the way around, nice, neat and tidy, no big deal. Not really taking much strength away from the blooming bush when you consider how thick it is and how deep I am. But wherever that positions, it will always get grease, and that's something I always do. Probably some people wouldn't bother, but for me it just seems like a good idea. Okay, catch you on the next one. Okay, so I've got the gasket cut for the trumpet house in the picture here, and the next picture, as you can see, is the bearing. Well, it's well past its sell-by date, so we've knocked them out and replaced them with some nice shiny new ones. Right, so we'll just pop the first trumpet on. Look, I've took the worm out, so by as we can get the crown wheel through, and the worm is there. Look. That's where it come from, and there's the trumpet, just bolted on, so I can offer the shafts in and see what sort of preload the bearings have got before I start shimming up. And there's the keyway I put in, only a short one, look. So boys, make a key so the back plate for my brakes don't spin on the trumpet when you put when you put the brake on. But that's a job to come yet. But just got to try this. It's a new bearing, look, shiny bearing. So I'm going to go around and fetch the air shaft and the crown wheel, and I'll catch up with you in a minute. Right, so we've got the bearing fitted on that side. Got the teleporter out to give me a lift, because that's pretty heavy, I can tell you. So yeah, I mean, it'll get that in there, look, and I'll just have to just slide that up a bit, just to get it so she's running a bit more square. Makes it a lot easier. Oh, there we go. So we're somewhere near the mark. What I'll do now is I'll jack this up with axle stands so I can manually hunch it in. But that's just a fair awesome piece of kit to chuck in on your own. But no, I'll catch up in a minute. Okay then, so we've got the bearings on the final drive, the diff housing, whatever you like to call it, crown wheel. Not a crown wheel, such as it's a worm wheel, worm gear. But anyway, so it's now just a question of sliding it in. The bearing's fitted in the back of the trumpet on the other one. So even though it's still a heavy old piece, and you may need a wooden block in there. I'll just put the wooden block in, because I need to cock it up to get it out the other end. All being well, another piece of wood, I think. What to do with a bit of wood? That's here, wasn't it? Okay. So I'm just pivoting that down on that bit of wood, just so I can get it to start. There you go. She's bloody heavy. No need to get to the gym after this. Just retrieve my 2 bits of wood. The trumpet's gone on dry. I ain't put the gaskets on. I just wanted to see. What sort of preload we've got on the bearings, if any. So right. That's pretty much in there. I've got the roll of bearings to put in. But while we're cocking it up and down, perhaps you know, put the bearings until we get the other trumpet to it. But anyway, what I'll do, I'll just put a G-clamp on the other side of the axle, just so as it can't slide out on me when I'm messing about. That's it. That'll just help it stop from sliding away. So that can come out. I'll grease the bearing. Just put a bit of grease on, give it a start. So that'll give that a good start. Well, I've got to put the outer shell of the bearing in the other trumpet, which I'll do in a few minutes, and then I'll bring you back when we slide it on. Okay, well what I've done, I've just polished the gasket face up, put the bearing shell in there, so now it's just a case of picking it up and offer it on, see what we're going to do. I mean, these ain't no lightweight when it comes to it. Right. He weighs at the top, so I'll be on that one. Okay. Right. Might better put that back under and help the job a little bit. That's where it needs to be. Get a bolt started. Okay, so that's pretty much in. Stick a bolt on the other side. So that's just nipped up. We'll slide a roller bearing in. So now put it all the way in because I need to get it out again. But just need to get it so that it holds itself central. The other side's gone in good. So this one obviously, let's have a little burr or something on the end of it. Yeah, I'm not going to go any more on that one. I should have to check the end of the bush out where I knocked it in. Must have put a little tiny burr on it or something. I should have checked before I started really, but anyway. And the other thing is I took the worm out to put this in so I could preload it. And it sort of asks the question, well, why didn't we do it first? Well, it's a blooming good question really. I just wanted to get on with the gearbox. But it's no big deal, I like to get that worm out, so sometimes we do things backwards. But see, that's turning freely there now without having to turn any of the gearbox. Yeah, I mean that's got a little bit of chatter there. Well, that's just chattering in this because it's not all the way up. But I can't move. Yeah, I'm reasonably happy at that really. I thought we might have to yeah, I'm happy with that. I think we'll call that a win-win. It's not got no up and down on it, so that's good. So we'll call that one do. Obviously I'm going to slide the trumpets off again, you know, to seal it up and so forth. But and then I'll lubricate all these before I put them on. But basically, you know, that's the back end done. I've got to slide the worm back in, which is just a case of shoving it in. Just shove it in and turn this as it goes in, and jobs are good. So right, we'll catch up on your next one. Right, so I cut 250 shims, one to put in each trumpet, to allow for the thicknesses of gaskets I'm going to put on. We'll see how that goes. Right, so I'll just put the trumpet back on. And the bearings are all greased up, ready to go in. So I'll just slide him in there. Right, I'm going to have to put two hands to that, but you can see what's going on. The bearing's going in, and I did deburr this end one. The onside one goes in the street, but I have deburred this one, but it's still a good fit, so it needs to be a good fit. So I'll just have to go off and shove that in, and I'll catch you back. Okay, so we have another issue here now. The roller bearing's in. I did have to tap this one, but it's gone in and it rotates okay. But anyway, so this is the new seal, proper double lip seal, so a nice jobby. And so if I just pull it off again, and it sits in the tin cap. This is the original tin cap. That is right in. So that's right in. This original Ford tin cap. If you just tip it over, it falls out. And because it's pressed, the face that the seal sits in is sort of tapered. So when you drop the seal in that, which that is right in now, you know, it's just so. I mean, I would imagine that the original seal was sort of moulded in, but I have another issue with this. I'm sorry if the camera ain't always keeping up here, but I'm looking outside the camera instead of looking through the camera. Right, so the seal goes on up to there. So the way I'm thinking is this. I'll just pull it back a bit. You've got the roller bearing in there. Let me put the torch on. So you've got the roller bearing in there. When that's going round and round and round, there's nothing stopping it from moving from side to side. So if it does come out this way, you've got the little needle pins all in the end plate that hold the rollers in, will catch on the inside of the seal, because there's nothing in there to stop it. So I'm thinking perhaps we ought to, if I get this, can I get the torch to stop there? So anyway, I'm thinking of making a steel washer to fit from that face, just a loose fit on there. So should the thing decide to move, it can't rip the inside of my seal up, if you follow what I'm saying. So that's washer will cover all that. So if the roller bearing decides to come this way, it'll hit my steel washer instead of hitting inside the steel. So that's what I'm thinking at the minute. Short of making a new end cap. I've got to salvage another end cap. Most of the ones I've got are all buggered, and it seems like you can't buy these anymore. So you used to be able to get them, but not anymore. See, I could either stick it in there with silicone, which is not the sort of the way I think like in mechanical terms. But if I was to put a big steel washer in there, it would have the same effect. So anyway, I'm going to go off and think about that a bit more, and I'll either make a complete new unit so the sides are square, so the seal knocks in and stops in with its own self-contained washer. I mean, when this goes on, it goes on and it overlaps. I'll go on this side. It overlaps that lip, you see, and then just bends into the groove. when that goes on. But if you've got a washer in there, thin washer, just to hold that, it could even be a step washer. So it's thicker near the roller and thinner just on this face. So you know, this will still go on far enough to crimp on. So yeah, several different ideas. So I'll think of something and do it, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, so I've had a look, and I've got these here thin hardened steel washers, and because they fit in there a treat. It's got a little bit of sideways movement, but that's okay. It can't go anywhere, and it sits proud of the shaft, so it won't wear a groove in the shaft. But should the roller bearing that's in there decide to come towards the seal, at least it's got a little hard face washer to rub on. So that's my theory on that. Okay then, so the oil seal on that one is on with my thin washer in there, and I shaft all the bolts in, or the trumpet with all the bolts in. This one's in, all the bolts are in. I've got sort of another cap, and I've got 3 down the bottom which are rusted, so I yet to still find a decent cap. I've got 1 or 2 more to take bits off, but the bearings in there, it's all greased up and everything, so we're pretty much finalised the back end now then. Just got to stick the worm in, which I will do shortly, but it's tea time now and I'm off, so catch you later.